God says, someone will give you a massive surprise in your life. This is not a coincidence or a small thing. It is a moment being gently prepared by the hands of heaven. You are not reading this by accident. You were guided here. In the next hour, something is going to shift in your life, and you won't even see it coming. But you'll feel it in your heart. When it comes, it will bring tears to your eyes, not of pain, but of joy, of wonder, of deep and quiet gratitude. Type Amen if you believe. This surprise is not just about receiving something beautiful. It's about God showing you that He never forgot you. It's about you finally seeing what He's been doing behind the scenes while you were praying, waiting, hoping, and sometimes crying in silence. It's not too late, and you are not too far gone. There is healing coming, there is peace coming, and there is restoration coming, not in small drops, but in waves that will cover everything broken and make it whole again. You may feel like nothing is changing, like your prayers are floating unanswered, but let this moment remind you that Jesus is closer than your own breath. He walks into your sorrow, He sees what no one else can, and He touches the parts of your soul that ache in the dark. The surprise He has for you is not just material or temporary. It is a healing you didn't know you needed, a breakthrough that lifts the burden off your shoulders without you having to fight anymore. He is fighting for you. There is no randomness in God's timing. The reason you are still holding on, even after all that pain, is because Jesus is holding on to you even tighter. He won't let go. Even when you feel numb, even when you feel lost, He is wrapping His arms around your spirit, whispering, I'm here. I've never left. This surprise is His reminder. This is not the end. You haven't missed your moment. You haven't failed. You are still worthy of love, and joy, and dreams that rise from the ashes. Type 1111 if you trust in God. Maybe you've felt tired lately. Maybe you've doubted whether things will ever feel light again. But I want you to hear this clearly, like a soft echo in your heart. The God who split the sea, who raised the dead, who calmed storms with a single word, is the same God holding your life right now. And He is not finished. His plans for you are not based on what you've lost, but on what He still wants to give. He sees the people who walked away. He knows the doors that slammed shut. He understands how much it hurt, how it made you question your worth. But He is writing a new chapter. One where the love that enters your life is pure, kind, and divinely sent. One where opportunities find you in quiet moments, and everything starts to come together with grace, not striving. You won't have to chase it. It will come to you because it was always yours in Heaven's plan. Hold on, just a little longer. Heaven is not blind to your tears. Every silent prayer you whispered in the dark was caught by God. Not one of them was wasted. They've been watering the roots of blessings that are about to bloom in your life, faster than you think, more beautifully than you can imagine. The kind of surprise that makes you fall to your knees, not in fear, but in awe of His mercy. The enemy wants you to give up right before the breakthrough. But you are not going to quit. Not today. You are too close. Too deeply loved. Too divinely chosen. The delay wasn't punishment. It was protection. He had to make sure what you receive next will not break you but bless you, not confuse you but complete you. God is never early, never late, always right on time. Let this part of your journey be the one where you decided to believe again. Not in the world, but in the one who made it. Not in yourself alone, but in the Savior who walks beside you. And even when you don't feel strong, He is strong in you. Even when your heart is trembling, His peace is steady and still. You will not miss what is meant for you. You will not be left behind. You will not walk alone into the future. He is already there, clearing the way, opening the door, setting the table. You just need to keep walking, even if it's slow, even if it's with tears in your eyes. Miracles do not always shout when they arrive. Sometimes, they come softly, through quiet people, unexpected moments, and gentle nudges from God. Though you cannot see it yet, its footsteps are approaching. The miracle has already left heaven and is making its way to you. Type 222 if you trust Jesus. Sometimes, we lose our ability to expect goodness. Life chips away at our hope little by little, until all we can do is survive the day. But the Lord never created you just to survive. He made you to live with peace, with joy, and with purpose that runs deep, even when the surface of your life feels uncertain. The surprise that is on its way is not coming because you earned it through perfection. It is coming because of who He is, faithful, loving, and endlessly kind. It is not a reward for being strong. It is a gift for being His. The pain you've felt, the losses you've endured, the people who turned their backs on you, none of it will be wasted. God weaves even the broken threads into something beautiful. What once made you cry in silence will soon become the reason you praise Him out loud. The heaviness you carried for years is already being lifted, little by little, by a Savior who knows how to carry the weight of the world yet still makes time to hold you. A 7-second at-home ritual, scientifically proven by neuroscience labs and hidden for decades in CIA files, is now public, and people are seeing money flow into their lives. Scientists say it activates a brain pathway linked to abundance. Click the link in the comments below before this knowledge disappears again. He is not far. He has never been far. And He is not silent. The surprise coming into your life will feel like a light suddenly flooding into a room you didn't even realize had gone dark. It will be soft, not loud. It will bring peace before it brings answers. It will remind you that you were never forgotten. That your name was spoken in heaven when you thought no one remembered you on earth. You were being held even when you couldn't feel it. Type 555 to receive healing. This is the kind of miracle that shifts the atmosphere around you. It may come through a message, a person, a moment so small that it feels ordinary until your heart suddenly knows, this was God. This was His hand. This was His love reaching through the noise of your worry to touch your life with peace. You won't need to explain it. You'll just know. Deeply. Quietly. Surely. He came through. Your waiting was not a punishment. Your delay was not a rejection. It was a preparation. You are not missing your blessing. You are being positioned to receive it fully. The doors that didn't open were not failures. They were divine redirects. The people who left were not mistakes. They were parts of your journey that were never meant to stay forever. And through it all, God was walking with you, gently guiding you back to the place where your heart can breathe again. Jesus understands every ache in your soul. When you lie awake at night with thoughts swirling like storms, He's there. When your heart beats heavy with fears you can't say out loud, He's there. He knows the story you're living, and He sees how hard you're trying. And He is not disappointed in you. Not for the tears. Not for the doubts. Not for the moments when you felt too tired to pray. He remains with you, unwavering and calm, always ready to pour grace over your weariness. The surprise that is coming will not be fleeting. It will not vanish like so many things that have come and gone. It will settle deep within you, a reminder that God's promises do not expire and His love does not change with the seasons. This is not just about a sudden joy, but a deep healing. The kind that mends the unseen places. The kind that brings color back into your life. The kind that reminds you who you are in His eyes, precious, chosen, and deeply loved. There is no wound too deep for His hands. There is no fear too loud for His peace. There is no night too long that His morning will not break through. Even now, angels are moving on your behalf. Doors are being unlocked. Hearts are being softened. Paths are being cleared. You are not behind. You are not late. You are walking the exact path meant for you, even if some of it feels like a wilderness. In the wilderness, He is still God. And in the quiet, He is still speaking. Let your heart breathe again. Let yourself believe again. Even if the faith feels small, God sees it. Even a flicker is enough for Him to move mountains. Even a whisper of trust is enough for Him to flood your life with light. This is not a season of despair. It is a sacred pause before the miracle. Don't let the silence convince you that God has stopped working. The soil always looks still before the seed breaks open with life. This surprise may arrive gently, without loud celebration. But it will carry the weight of heaven's love. It will be the thing that reminds you why you never gave up. It will show you that Jesus never forgot you, even when the world moved on. It will bring you back to yourself, back to joy, back to the dreams you laid down because you were too tired to hope. They're not gone. They're waiting, just like you, for God's perfect moment. When God places a moment in front of you like this, it's not random. It's on purpose. He knows the exact second to step in, the exact hour your heart needs comfort, and the exact way to bring light where it's been dim for far too long. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. What's coming is not just a shift in your situation, it's a shift in your soul. You've carried so much for so long, and even though no one else may see the depth of it, God does. He has watched the way you've stood in storms that tried to take you down. He has seen you choosing love when bitterness felt easier. He has listened to every prayer you whispered with trembling hope. And now, something is about to break open, not in destruction, but in blessing. Something is about to fall into your life like soft rain on dry ground. You won't have to chase it. It's already coming. God is never moved by chaos. He's not surprised by what hurt you, confused you, delayed you, or shook you. He sees beyond every broken piece and still chooses to build something beautiful with it. What is on the way isn't just relief, it's redemption. The kind that makes you see why it didn't work before. The kind that makes you grateful even for the tears, because now you understand that those tears watered a garden you couldn't see growing beneath the surface. And this surprise, this heavenly gift that is already moving closer to your life, will touch more than just your present moment. It will touch the part of you that wondered if God still sees you. It will answer the quiet cry inside that asked if your story still matters, if joy could really return, if you could still be chosen after everything. It will not be loud. It will not be dramatic. But it will change everything. It will bring color back into your days. It will remind you that God doesn't just care about your survival, He cares about your restoration. Type 1919 to receive miracles. A classified 7-second morning ritual, once buried in CIA files, is quietly transforming financial lives. In under 30 seconds, it helps shift the mind from scarcity to wealth, with many reporting surprise income and peace. Click the link in the comments below before the page is removed. Jesus is not standing at a distance from your struggle. He is sitting right in the middle of it with you. When your chest tightens and your spirit grows weary, He is not just watching. He is holding you through it. Even when you can't feel it, even when your faith is faint and your prayers are tired, He is wrapping you in a love that refuses to leave. He is preparing a place in your future that will make sense of all the confusion you're walking through now. This is a season of quiet miracles. The ones that don't always look like fireworks but feel like peace. The ones that come in the form of unexpected kindness, open doors, healing in the places you never thought could heal. The kind of miracles that arrive softly and stay forever. You don't need to earn this moment. You only need to be open. Your heart, even if bruised, is still sacred ground. God still sees it as worthy of blessings, worthy of beauty, worthy of joy. Sometimes we get so used to pain that we forget what it feels like to be hopeful. But God is breaking through that numbness. He is gently calling you out of the fog and into clarity. The surprise coming your way is not something to be feared. It's an answer. A whisper of grace that says, I heard you, even when you thought I didn't. I saw you, even when you felt invisible. I loved you, even when you were too hurt to love yourself. You don't have to understand how it will happen. You don't have to map it out or explain it to anyone. You just need to keep your heart soft enough to believe. Jesus never asks for perfect faith, just real faith. Just the kind that shows up, even if it's shaky. Just the kind that keeps walking, even if it's slow. Because He walks beside you at your pace. He carries what you can't. He strengthens what's weak. And He finishes what He begins. The gift that is coming to you isn't being delayed. It's being prepared. It is being formed with care, stitched with purpose, and covered in heaven's timing. When it arrives, it will not feel rushed. It will feel right. Like a puzzle piece you didn't know was missing but suddenly makes everything feel complete. And it will come with a quiet knowing that God never forgot you, not even for a moment. So don't rush the process. Don't let the enemy convince you that your breakthrough is too far away. It's already in motion. The silence you're sitting in now is not the end. It's just the moment before the page turns. And when it does, what comes next will feel like fresh air after a long night. It will bring rest to the parts of you that have been striving. It will bring joy back to places where sadness had made a home. There is goodness on its way that your heart can barely imagine. God is not limited by time, by distance, by resources, or by what others have done to you. He is limitless, and His love for you is deep and wide and personal. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are exactly where He needs you to be for what comes next. This surprise, it may be a door opening. It may be healing where there was only pain. It may be someone sent into your life with a love that feels like sunlight. It may be a shift in your heart that brings peace in the middle of unanswered questions. Whatever it looks like, know this: it is good. It is right. And it is coming. The time has come for your waiting to become wonder. For your heartbreak to turn into healing. For the years of unanswered prayers to be answered, not with noise, but with a calm assurance that only Jesus can bring. Type yes to affirm. There is something powerful happening that you cannot see with your eyes, but your heart can sense it. The Lord is preparing something that will change not just your current situation, but the way you see everything. This isn't about what you deserve or what you've lost, it's about what God is restoring. It's about the way He never lets a tear go unnoticed, never lets a prayer go unheard, and never lets a soul wander too far for redemption. The surprise that's coming isn't just about receiving something new, it's about the holy transformation that takes place when heaven touches your life. It's the kind of miracle that doesn't just give you what you asked for, but gives you more than you knew to hope for. It's what happens when God decides it's time. Time for peace to return. Time for joy to overflow. Time for the night season to end. He is not rushing. He is not stalling. He is being exact, perfect, and tender with your story. The people around you may not know how deep the struggle has been. They may not see the silent battles you fought just to stay afloat. But Jesus has been with you through every moment, sitting beside you in every tear, holding your heart in every silent cry. He has not turned His face from you. In fact, He's been looking right at you, loving you steadily, waiting for the moment to say, now. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. This now is not defined by the clock on your wall. It is divine. It is born from the rhythm of God's own heart, timed perfectly for your healing. It is coming without warning but will settle into your life with peace. You will not need to question if it's real. It will carry the signature of God, gentle, kind, deep, and unshakably good. You may have gone through seasons where everything felt out of reach, where you loved and it wasn't returned, gave and it wasn't seen, tried and still fell short. Those seasons were not punishment. They were soil. And while it felt like nothing was growing, roots were digging deep. The roots of endurance, of quiet faith, of strength born from surrender. Now, those roots are ready to carry the weight of the blessing that's coming. Do you know, inside your brain is a small region linked to wealth and success, once buried in restricted research and hidden in CIA files. This newly revealed frequency is helping people replace stress with financial ease, and God has guided you here. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brain wave now. When the surprise comes, and it will not feel like a rescue, it will feel like a homecoming. As if something that was always meant for you has finally arrived. It will remind you that you were never behind, never forgotten, and never abandoned. It will pour over your spirit like a quiet rain after a long drought. And it will soak into places that have been dry for too long, places you thought had withered beyond hope. This is what Jesus does. He steps into impossible places and breathes life. He doesn't need things to be fixed before He blesses you. He blesses you so you can see how loved you are, even in your mess, even in your fear, even in your doubt. His love is not fragile. It doesn't retreat when things get heavy. It stays. It restores. It lifts you gently, even when you have no strength left to rise. And that's the love reaching for you now. Not a distant love, not a loud demand, but a quiet, strong, unmovable grace. The kind of grace that knows your name and your needs and brings what's missing right to your door. You don't need to chase it. You only need to be open. God has not forgotten how to surprise His children. He hasn't stopped moving mountains. He hasn't stopped doing the kind of things that make people fall to their knees and whisper, "Only God." So let your heart begin to trust again. Not because everything around you makes sense, but because God has never failed you. Even when He was silent, He was working. Even when He felt distant, He was drawing close. And now, the time has come for the prayers that have sat quietly at the back of your heart to begin unfolding into reality. Not in chaos, but in peace. Not in pieces, but in beauty. Let yourself breathe in that hope. Let yourself believe that this time, the miracle won't pass you by. It's not coming to tease you or test you. It's coming because you are God's child. And He loves to give good gifts to His children, not because they are perfect, but because they are His. This is more than a blessing. It's a reminder that God never needed you to figure everything out. He only needed your heart. The surprise that's coming is holy. It's wrapped in love and sent with care. It's arriving soon, not as a warning, but as a promise kept. 1 hour, 1 moment, 1 breath from now, your life could shift in a way that will leave you speechless in the presence of God's mercy. Not because you're lucky, but because you are loved. Loved beyond what words can hold, loved in ways your heart has yet to fully understand. This isn't a coincidence. This is the soft movement of God's hands turning the page in your life, guiding you gently from pain to peace. Type 2323 if you agree. There is something sacred about surprises from God. They don't always come with signs or warnings. Sometimes they arrive in a whisper, wrapped in stillness, during a moment when you least expect anything at all. And suddenly, your whole world shifts. Not through force. Not through effort. But through grace. That's what is coming. A quiet miracle. A holy moment. A change that isn't loud, but permanent. You have cried behind closed doors. You've faced storms with a brave face even when your heart felt like it would shatter under the pressure. But your endurance was not in vain. Every time you chose to get back up, heaven noticed. Every time you chose to love, even when your heart was tired, God smiled. He doesn't overlook the small sacrifices. He doesn't forget the late-night prayers. He doesn't ignore the days you gave your all when you had nothing left to give. He remembers everything. And He's been preparing something just for you. This surprise, this holy interruption in your life, is heaven's way of saying, I haven't forgotten. It's a whisper from God's heart to yours, telling you that you are seen, you are cherished, and you are not abandoned. What's about to happen will not just change your circumstances. It will change the way you see yourself. It will remind you of your worth in the eyes of your Creator. It will settle into your soul like a healing wind and remind you that God never makes a promise He doesn't keep. Type Amen if you believe. So don't let your heart close off. Don't let disappointment keep you from receiving what's next. God doesn't base your future on your past. He bases it on His love. And His love is perfect. It doesn't wait for you to have it all together. It meets you where you are, exactly how you are, and begins to restore, to rebuild, and to renew everything that was once broken. Even when you doubted, even when you questioned, God was still moving. Your uncertainty didn't scare Him. Your weariness didn't push Him away. In fact, it drew Him even closer. Because Jesus isn't looking for perfection. He's looking for the open-hearted, the tired but trusting, the ones who say, Lord, I don't understand, but I still choose you. And that's what you've done, again and again. You've kept choosing Him. That's why He's coming through for you. The surprise coming your way may look different than you imagined. It might not follow your plan. But it will always exceed your expectations. Because God doesn't give according to your capacity to dream. He gives according to His capacity to love, and His love has no limits. He gives in abundance, in overflow, in ways that heal wounds you forgot were there. This isn't about deserving. This is about grace. Pure, unearned, unstoppable grace. You may not feel ready, but grace covers that. You may not know how it will unfold, but grace goes before you. It holds you steady when everything else is shaking. It fills the cracks with peace. It silences the lies and reminds you of the truth, that you are a child of God, and He is always, always good. Financial freedom is not about effort, but activating a hidden brain signal once buried in CIA files. Neuroscience shows this sound wave helps attract money and opportunity faster, and thousands are already seeing unexpected income. Click the link in the description and comments now to activate the ancient money wave today. Let this be the moment where you breathe again. Where you open your hands and release everything you've been clinging to. The fear. The disappointment. The timeline. Just lay it down. Let it go. You don't have to carry it into this next chapter. What's ahead requires only your trust, not your worry. Your belief, not your control. Because Jesus is already walking ahead of you, preparing a place where your heart can rest again. And when the surprise comes, and it will, it won't just change your day. It will anchor your faith. It will remind you that hope is not empty. That prayers are not wasted. That love wins, even after loss. That God still writes beautiful stories out of broken beginnings. Your life is not behind. It is not too late. You are right on time for what God is about to do. There will be a moment, soon, where you'll look back and say, that was it. That was the turning point. And it won't be because of anything you did to earn it. It will be because of who God is. Kind. Constant. Capable of turning mourning into dancing, sorrow into joy, waiting into blessing. Your part is simple: stay open. Keep believing. Let your heart soften again. You don't need to fix everything. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to rest in the love of Jesus, who is coming to show you once again that you are never forgotten and always chosen. T is God's voice, quietly speaking into the depths of your soul, telling you that what you thought was over is just about to begin in a brand new way. And this beginning doesn't come with pressure, it comes with peace. Type 2020 to claim miracles. The surprise that is on the way is more than a gift. It is an answer. An answer to the prayers you prayed when no one saw. An answer to the aching you felt when everything around you seemed to stand still. You were not forgotten. You were not overlooked. You were being carried. Carried through the confusion, carried through the silence, carried through the nights you lay awake wondering when relief would come. God never left your side. He walked with you when your feet barely moved. He stayed when others walked away. Sometimes, the most beautiful miracles don't arrive with thunder. They arrive quietly, like a gentle breeze across your heart. They don't announce themselves loudly, they simply show up and bring a stillness you haven't felt in a long time. That's how this surprise will come. Not to overwhelm you, but to hold you. Not to impress, but to embrace. It's not here to test you. It's here to heal you. You have been waiting so long. And I know it feels like nothing is changing. But the truth is, while you were praying, heaven was already moving. The breakthrough didn't begin when you started to feel it. It began the moment God heard your cry. And He heard you the first time. He never needed convincing to love you. He never waited for you to prove yourself worthy. You already were. The road has been heavy. There were days you smiled for others while crying inside. Days you gave everything you had and still felt like it wasn't enough. But even then, God saw the strength it took for you to show up. He saw the faith behind your fear. He saw the little steps you took when all you wanted to do was hide. And He counted every one of them as sacred. This is why the surprise isn't coming to reward your performance, it's coming to restore your soul. It's coming to remind you that God is not just in your victories. He is also in your valleys. He is there in the moments no one applauds. In the private places where your spirit whispers, "Lord, please don't let go." He's never let go. He never will. Type 222 if you believe Jesus is working. The beauty of this next chapter is that you don't have to chase it. You don't have to strive to earn it. You simply have to receive it. The doors that are about to open won't require you to become someone else to walk through them. They will open for the real you, the you that God has gently formed through every trial, every tear, and every moment of trust. This surprise will feel like relief. It will settle your spirit in a way no explanation ever could. It will not just give you a reason to smile again. It will remind you why you never gave up. It will restore what was lost, not always in the same form, but in a way that's even better than what you imagined. Because God doesn't just return things. He redeems them. He turns ashes into beauty. He takes what was broken and rebuilds it stronger, softer, and full of grace. You may not see the full picture yet. But you don't need to. That's the beauty of walking with Jesus. He never asks you to understand everything. He only asks you to trust that He does. And He does. He sees what's ahead. He knows what you've endured. And He is aligning everything with perfect precision so that when the surprise reaches you, it won't feel forced, it will feel like home. There is peace coming to you. Not because the world is perfect, but because Jesus is present. There is joy rising again, not because you forced it, but because God is breathing life into your spirit. There is love finding its way to your heart, not because you chased it, but because God never stopped chasing you. This is your moment to believe again. To soften your heart and let hope enter again. Not the kind of hope that fades when things get hard, but the kind of hope that stands steady in storms because it's rooted in the one who calms them. Jesus is not promising a life without trials, but He is promising His presence through them. And sometimes, His presence is the very surprise we need most. A 7-second brain-wave ritual, once reserved for elite people and hidden in CIA files, is now public, and people call it the 30-second miracle. Scientists say it awakens a dormant brain center tied to wealth and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it's deleted again from the internet. This gift that is coming into your life may not be what you expected, but it will be exactly what you need. It may not arrive in the way you imagined, but it will be perfect in timing and meaning. You will look back and see that every closed door, every no, every delay was not rejection. It was preparation. And now, the wait is over. Let yourself believe it. Even if it's hard. Even if it feels too good to be true. Let your heart whisper a quiet yes to God's plan. Because His plan is always better. And He has never failed, not once. Not in your story. Not in anyone's. And He's not about to start now. It may not arrive with fireworks. It may not come through people you expect. But it will be real. And it will carry the fingerprint of heaven all over it. Type 1111 if you trust in God. This surprise will carry something deeper than a gift, it will carry healing. You may have waited years for someone to understand the weight you carry silently, the battles you fight behind a smile, the pain you've learned to walk with. God sees all of it. And what He's bringing will not only meet your needs, it will minister to your soul. This is not just about change, it's about comfort. Not just about getting through, but feeling whole again. It's not always easy to believe that good things can still happen, especially when life has given you reasons to feel cautious. But God is not like people. He doesn't promise and forget. He doesn't raise hopes just to drop them. When He speaks, His words move mountains. When He declares blessing, nothing can block it, not fear, not delay, not even your own doubt. That's what's coming now. Something no one can take from you, because it's from Him. You don't need to try harder to receive it. You don't need to strive or earn or perform. This is grace. This is love that chooses you even on the days when you feel lost or unworthy. God never required you to be perfect. He only asks that you stay open. Even if your heart is bruised. Even if you've stopped expecting. Even if you're not sure how to hope anymore. He'll meet you there. The surprise that is making its way to you will be quiet at first. It won't shout. It won't announce itself. It will come like a still, soft whisper. But when it touches your life, it will settle something inside of you that's been restless for far too long. That tiredness in your chest, that ache in your soul, it will begin to lift. Slowly, gently, and for good. God isn't rushing you. He knows how long the night has felt. He understands why you grew quiet. But the light is returning now. Not because you forced it, but because He's sending it. You have waited, and now it's time. You have trusted through tears, and now it's coming. You have walked through shadows, and now a sunrise is on the horizon. It's closer than you know. Type 555 if you're ready for healing. When it comes, you'll remember this moment. Not because of the words, but because of what stirs inside you right now. That still, soft voice that says, "Don't give up yet." That flicker of warmth in your heart, even if it's been cold for a while. That quiet knowing that this is not the end. It's the beginning of something holy. Something tender. Something real. You might be wondering how. You might be asking why now. But God isn't asking you to figure it out. He's just asking you to be still. Be present. Stay open. You don't have to chase the blessing. It's chasing you. You don't have to beg for favor. You're already chosen. God doesn't delay without purpose, and He never shows up empty-handed. This surprise might come through someone you don't expect. It might come through a conversation, an opportunity, or even a simple moment that feels like peace after a long storm. Whatever it looks like, it will be enough. Not because it fixes everything around you, but because it reminds you that God is still deeply involved in your life. Still writing. Still working. Still weaving beauty through brokenness. The miracle you are about to receive won't look like magic. It will look like restoration. It will look like strength returning to your spirit. Like clarity in the fog. Like joy blooming where sadness had taken root. Like peace where anxiety used to live. God's surprises are always better than anything we could plan for ourselves. Because He knows what we truly need, even when we can't put it into words. You didn't miss your moment. You didn't fall behind. You didn't break beyond repair. What you did was survive. You kept walking when it hurt. You kept believing, even with a trembling heart. And now, Heaven is responding with something special, just for you. Let your heart rest in that. Let yourself believe that good things can still come. That grace still flows. That God still does miracles in quiet corners of everyday life. That your name is still written on His hands, and your future is still full of light. You may not have all the answers. You may not know when or how. But you can be sure of this: God is faithful. Not just sometimes. Always. He doesn't abandon His children. He doesn't ignore broken hearts. He leans in closer when we feel the most forgotten. And He lifts us with love when we feel too weak to try. There is a joy rising inside you that the world didn't give, and the world can't take away. There is a peace being formed in you that will carry you through everything ahead. There is a surprise on the way that will remind you how deeply loved you truly are. It will not come because of luck or chance. It will come because you are loved, deeply and eternally, by the One who created the stars and still knows the sound of your soul when it breaks and when it rejoices. Type Amen if you believe. A 7-second brainwave ritual uncovered from sealed records and hidden in CIA files is transforming financial lives. It activates a forgotten abundance channel in the brain, leading to new financial opportunities and cleared debts. Click the link in the comments below before it disappears. This surprise that's making its way to you isn't just about solving a problem or giving you something you once prayed for. It is about healing something deep inside that you stopped talking about. That quiet ache. That memory that still feels fresh. That moment in your past where things fell apart, and you had to pick up the pieces with no one there to help. God saw that moment. He didn't leave you there. And what's coming now is part of the restoration. Not just fixing it, but making it beautiful. You've been strong for so long. Maybe too long. You've learned how to smile when you're exhausted. You've been the encourager for others when you needed encouragement yourself. And in all of that, God never once stopped watching over you. He never turned His face from your pain. He held it. He held you. And now, He's getting ready to lift something heavy off your life. Something you didn't even realize was still weighing you down. That's how He works. He goes deeper than we expect. And when He gives, it's always more than we thought to ask for. Sometimes we wait for God to show up in loud, unmistakable ways. But He often moves in stillness, in subtle shifts, in gentle moments that seem small but change everything. That's how this surprise will come. It won't need to be loud to be holy. It will simply feel right. Like peace that doesn't leave. Like light in a place that's been dim for too long. Like someone finally saying, "I see you," and meaning it. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. The truth is, you didn't miss your blessing. Even when it felt like others passed you by. Even when you watched others receive what you had prayed for. Even when your timeline didn't match theirs. Your story isn't late. It's layered. It's been written with more love than you can imagine. God has been using every waiting season to prepare you, not punish you. Every delay has been a layer of grace. And now, the season is changing. This surprise, this moment that's coming, will begin to change things gently but permanently. It will be a divine reminder that Jesus always finishes what he starts. And what he started in you wasn't just survival, it was a life of joy, of peace, of purpose. He is not just getting you through, he is leading you into something greater. Something steady. Something safe. And the beauty of it is, you won't need to strive for it. You won't need to chase it. You won't need to fight to prove your worth. This blessing has already been set aside for you. It has your name written on it. And when it arrives, it won't feel like a rescue, it will feel like coming home. Like your soul finally resting after a long journey. Like your heart finally exhaling in peace. You may have walked through seasons where it felt like God was silent. But silence is not absence. And delays are not denials. What you thought was God ignoring you was actually Him preparing something far better than what you asked. He was protecting you from things you didn't see. He was building something that wouldn't crumble when the winds blew. He was crafting a moment that would last, not just lift. Now, as this moment nears, you don't need to be afraid. You don't need to brace yourself for disappointment. You can let yourself hope again. Not because everything makes sense, but because Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And He's never once abandoned a heart that trusts in Him. You've done more healing than anyone knows. You've walked through more silently than most will ever understand. But God understands. He doesn't just see the surface. He sees the soul. And He knows exactly what you need. The surprise that is coming is not just about blessing your life, it's about confirming His presence. You'll feel it. You'll know. This was not random. This was not small. This was love. You are closer now than you've ever been. Every quiet yes you gave to God, every tear you've let fall in private, every time you whispered, "Lord, please help me," even when no one else heard it, He heard it. And He answered, even before you saw the answer. The blessing didn't start when it arrived. It started when you first believed. So as you stand here, in this moment between waiting and receiving, let your heart soften again. Let yourself expect goodness again. Not because the world is kind, but because your God is. And His kindness never runs out. His love never fails. His promises never break. This is a sacred moment between you and your Creator. A moment where He gently presses His love into your spirit and reminds you that what's ahead is more beautiful than what's behind. Not because of luck or chance, but because of grace. The kind of grace that meets you where you are and says, "I still have more for you." Type 222 if you believe Jesus is working. This surprise will not look like what you imagined, but it will feel exactly like what you've needed. For a long time now, you've carried silent prayers. You've smiled through storms, stayed kind while hurting, and offered strength when yours was almost gone. But God saw it all. And He never looked away. The weight of your faithfulness, even in your weakness, has not gone unnoticed in heaven. The surprise that is on its way is not just an answer, it's a reward for your quiet endurance. Sometimes we think miracles must be massive or loud to be real. But often, the most powerful ones arrive gently. Like peace that enters your heart without warning. Like love that finds you in the quiet. Like hope that returns softly after a long, heavy season. That's what's coming. Something sacred, something still, something that will make you pause and whisper, "Only God could have done this." Using a simple 7-second brain wave ritual, once classified and hidden in CIA files, can unlock wealth, freedom, and success already inside you. This discovery is helping thousands step into abundance, and God has led you here for a reason. Click the link in the description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency today. This surprise won't demand attention, but it will capture your heart. It will not stir chaos, it will bring calm. It will not leave you questioning, it will bring confirmation. It will remind you that no matter how long it took, no matter how tired you grew, God never stopped preparing the blessing that has always had your name on it. Type 1919 to receive miracles. For every night you laid awake in tears, wondering if God still had a plan, for every season you gave without receiving, hoped without seeing, trusted without understanding, there is a response being sent from heaven. And it is not small. It is not temporary. It is not delayed. It is on time, right now, because God knew exactly when your soul would be ready to receive it fully. Your story is not over. Not even close. What's coming is not just a new season, it's a new song. A new softness in your spirit. A new strength rising from the places that once felt worn down. God is not patching up old things. He is doing something entirely new. And the surprise will be proof that nothing was wasted, not a single day of waiting, not a single tear shed in secret. You might be used to holding your breath, waiting for things to fall apart again. But this time, it's different. This time, what's coming won't break you, it will bless you. It won't test your faith, it will build it. This time, it's not about learning another lesson, it's about receiving what you've already grown strong enough to carry. Your heart is ready. Your life is ready. Heaven is ready. Jesus is not just visiting your life, He's dwelling in it. That means the surprise is not coming from a distance. It's coming from within the nearness of His love. It's coming from the heart of a Savior who knows you fully and still chooses you daily. You haven't been forgotten. You haven't been skipped. You haven't been left behind. You are being seen in a way that only God can see. This is the moment where your heart will begin to believe again. This is the turning point you won't see coming, but when it arrives, you'll feel something shift inside. And that shift will be peace. It will be the quiet voice of God reminding you, "I never stopped writing your story." And oh, how beautiful this next part will be. You do not have to be perfect to receive this. You do not have to explain why it took so long. You don't even have to understand what God is doing. You only have to say yes. Yes to hope again. Yes to healing. Yes to the blessing that is coming not because of what you've done, but because of who He is, faithful, loving, and good beyond measure. Let yourself rest in that truth. Let the worries fall from your shoulders. Let the expectations, the timelines, the comparisons, all of it, fade into the background. This surprise is not about proving anything. It's about presence. The presence of God showing up in your life in a real, tangible, undeniable way. He's already close. And what He's bringing will make that closeness even more clear. The next few moments in your life may look the same on the outside. But something inside is shifting. The roots you planted in faith are beginning to break through the surface. The prayers you sowed with tears are now blooming. And the surprise ahead is the fruit of those quiet, sacred seeds. What's coming will make you grateful for the waiting. It will help you see why certain things didn't work out, because they weren't the blessing, they were the preparation. What's coming will settle every anxious thought. It will silence the questions. It will give you a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances, because it flows from the heart of God Himself. Hold on to that. Not with tight fists, but with open hands. With a heart ready to receive. With a spirit that whispers yes. You don't need to chase the blessing anymore. You are walking straight into it. Step by step. Breath by breath. Moment by holy moment.